I were to ask everyone in this room where they'd want a free vacation to, somebody's bound to answer Hawaii. My junior year of high school, I was fortunate enough to take a family vacation to Hawaii. In this presentation, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of Hawaii, some famous places, and then my own experiences in the Aloha State. Although Hawaii is a state, it's actually in the Oceania region of Polynesia. Oceania is the term given to the groups of islands out in the Pacific Ocean. Hawaii is formed by a hot spot, which is undersea magma upwelling. The magma is underneath the plate, so when the plate moves, the different islands are formed. And Hawaii is made up of 8 main islands, as you can see on my visual aid. The islands were unified in 1810 by King Kamehameha, and then he was overthrown in 1872 by the United States government. Hawaii was signed into statehood in 1959 by President Eisenhower, and then a formal apology was issued by President Clinton in 1993 to the Hawaiian royal family. And this is the only time that the United States government has ever apologized for overthrowing a sovereign nation. Okay, some famous places in Hawaii. There are many volcanoes in Hawaii, but the only active ones are in the southwest portion of the Big Island. Mauna Kea is the largest. This is a picture from the top of Mauna Kea. It's so high and it's on the dry side of the mountain, so there's not a lot of clouds. So there's actually a big observatory there, and that's where they got this image of the nebula in space. Another famous place in Hawaii is Pearl Harbor. Many of you guys know from history classes that Pearl Harbor was the site that the Japanese bombed, and that brought the United States into World War II. The bombing of Pearl Harbor occurred on December 7th, 1941, and 9 ships sunk and 21 were damaged, as you can see on this little graphic. The United States actually cracked the Japanese secret code, so they knew that there was going to be a bombing. But the United States believed that the bombing would be in the Philippines, and so whenever it was in Hawaii, they were caught completely off guard, and that's why it was so destructive. So in March of 2008, my family and I traveled to Hawaii. We stayed on the island of Maui. We went in March, and so the whales were traveling back up to the north, and so we got to see some whales out on a boat. And we went snorkeling off the island of Molokini, which is this really little, like, crescent-shaped island that only birds live on because it's so rocky. We also traveled to the top of Mount Haleakala, which is this picture right here. That's the sunset on Haleakala. And that's actually a dormant volcano because the only active volcanoes are right underneath the hot spot. They actually have this thing where you can hike to the top and then ride a bike down and watch the sunrise. My family's not that athletic, so we kind of just drove up and down. But we did hike to see a waterfall. And I only brought sandals, and hiking in sandals is not fun, so bring a pair of sneakers if you ever go. But we did spend a lot of time on the beach. We actually got really sunburned the second day we were there. And then we went to a traditional Hawaiian luau, which is where this picture of me and my family are. And that is pre-sunburn because I'm really pale. So, although Hawaii is a good place to visit, I don't necessarily recommend living there. Because of its location, you're under danger from tsunamis, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. And also I did a little bit of research, and it's the 3rd most expensive city in the U.S. to live in, only behind New York and San Francisco. So my recommendation is to save your money, take a week off of work, and visit Hawaii. Mahalo, which is Hawaiian for thank you.